are done today. That's pretty nice. The rest of this is real easy. Pull some screws out of these, take them out, set them aside for later. And then there's just a bunch of rivets through plywood into the stringers. They're everywhere. Drill them out, pull 3 pieces of plywood out. Don't step through the floor there. Let's get the easy bits out and see if there's a lot of work with the stringers, if we got to get the welder out and stuff, or if we're just good to go ahead and replace some wood and carpet and put it back together and redo some wiring, maybe a couple new pumps down there. A little electro-magicianry has to happen, you know, everything's got to work. There's no bilge right now, and I'm trying to doubt this live well pump works, but we'll find out. Floor's coming up a little too easy, but that's all right. This chunk should be free. Just thought I'd get a little close up of how bad it really is. Hard to say what color. It should be about that color, I reckon. But it's actually got, even in the dead of winter, after it's been brought inside, plant life growing in it. It's got mushrooms and everything. Rooted in deep. We may have to reconsider doing a transom on this guy. I don't know. Got it. Down to the stringers. They all seem to be in pretty good shape. That's a good thing. What's a bad thing though is all this foam down here is waterlogged. You know, you can tell that just by pushing on it a little bit, and water comes out. Quite a lot, really. And this is the worst spot, but see, back in 1990, they might not have had closed cell foam for expanding marine foam. It wasn't nearly as good as what they got today. So we got to dig all that out. The other thing we came into is I poked around on the transom a bit more, and well, she's a little soft on the bottom for my liking. I just don't feel confident leaving it in there. It's not such a bad one to replace. Do it with plywood anyway, so, you know, no big deal. We'll just do it. We'll dig all of the foam out of here, even though some of it's probably still good. We'd just like to have a boat that's going to be completely issue-free in the future. But for now, we got to start digging. And I'll tell you, you can watch a million videos and ask a million times, tips and tricks about how to get this crap out of here, because it's a nightmare and everyone says it's the worstest job in the world. And you can try a sawzall and cut it into sections and grab a pry bar or a hammer and you can get it out that way. Or chisel a speed bit down and just start chopping that way. But the quickest way you're gonna find is a construction claw hammer. Just start popping chunks out as best you can. Only do that in places where it's safe to swing a hammer around and not push it through the hole. Then you're gonna need a couple pry bars to keep getting the rest of the crap out. And when you're done and you want to get it a little cleaned up, you grab a wire cup brush, maybe a little bit bigger cup brush than this. Put it on your drill, rips the rest of that right off there, and it leaves you a nice clean surface. Handy dandy, you can even use that on fiberglass where there's foam. So it's time to get all the foam out of there. Told you how to do it. I noticed when I stripped one section here that some of it wasn't super attached to the floor anymore because it was so waterlogged. So some of the chunks came out pretty easy. And that cleanup's already pretty easy. But it got me to thinking, I thought, I've got this pressure washer here. What if I wedged it in there kind of sideways so that the stream was coming out flat underneath the foam? It might just lift it right up and all come out at once. You know, to make that happen, you're going to have to dig out a little bit so you can get the pressure washer in there. So let's try it and find out. We'll learn together here. Well, it looks to me like it might have worked, at least somewhat. Let's see. Would you just look at that? We learned a whole new trick. Now it won't work for all of this. It might work in a few spots. And when we dig it up to at least here and we can jam the pressure washer under there, if we can keep getting it up like this, boy, that's a win. That saves a lot of labor. This is soaked though. This is like a darn sponge. It weighs a lot. Yeah.
Gross.
That's not good. That's supposed to be foam. It's supposed to weigh nothing, you know?